Indianism in London for 3 years, where he had gone as a teenager. He met some men and women of great virtue and vision, very different from those who colonized the subcontinent with a sense of racial superiority, the bane of modern civilization, including in this country today. Even his first acquaintance with the Bhagavad Gita, subsequently his daily Bible, was Edwin Arnold's The Celestial Throne in English, recommended by an English friend. He had never read the Gita in the 12th century before this. He shared a lot with a vegetarian Englishman. He learned to live with others in close intimacy. The joy of human relationship added to his life and daily life. All this added to his love of humankind and his realization that humanity in its bare bones is one family, though often divided by race, religion, color, vision, customs, ideology, and invention of nations, what Rabindranath Tagore called the narrow domestic world. But human spirit is essentially one, and it springs out of the soul, the country that is one's own, that's shaped by many interior and exterior lenses. The soul is a foreign country. It cannot be bought or sold. It doesn't exist on any map, yet it is an immeasurable reality that we face every morning, evening, when the dark night descends on us. The ocean is one, but we call it a different name. We are waves in the same seas, but the energy that moves the waves remains invisible and indivisible. Gandhi became a Mahatma in the diaspora of England and South Africa. That was his profoundest education. Perhaps they would write a lesson for us in Australia. Our East Australasia, advisedly, as it is in this region that the Gandhian thought and action could make an enduring contribution for the future of peace in our very community regions there. And I'm so grateful for my very dear older brother, Mr. Agarwal, we are fortunate to live in the largest island forest with the oldest architecture of caste or class, color or creed. Yet violence even here is never far away. And this violence, the children of difference and distance, seems to be infectious from domestic to the current nuclear raised in the His book hints about moral regeneration of his countrymen and women, and the political freedom of the subjugated subcontinent. His idea of dharma, in which the world revolves around the sun, the rivers flow, the winds blow, and we all grow breathing in the light of the sun and the life-giving love on one earth. It is this seminal work, Hinswara, that he attempts to define the direction of modern industrial civilization, its dire consequences for our one and only life-giving planet. It is a text to send the mighty message of Ahimsa to the rulers and the ruled, both here and all over the world, including in India, to seek alternative ways of human progress through moral obligations and not only through material machine-made culture of money and muscle. This is the seed from which the great Gandhian tree has grown. It has been grafted and transplanted on many lands across the seas, including my own little country, Fiji. Its leaves and roots, its bole and boughs, its bark and entwined branches give us shade and shelter on a dark and stormy night that we all face, and occasionally it bears fruits to sustain us in our desperate journeys every day. What the great Australian writer Patrick White called the tree of man, and he was a great admirer of Mahatma Gandhi. Often on its broken boughs we build our nests. Gandhiji knew the partitions of the heart and soul and the land we loved most. Gandhi, Mahatma saw modern civilization as a destructive force unless we check its ruthless plunder of the earth itself. Today's catastrophic climate change and the pollution of the silent spring, the source of all our being and becoming, are foreshadowed in his words of visionary immediacy and urgency. How prescient he has can be seen that within a few years of its publication, the Great War, the Russian Revolution changed the world, and within 2 decades, when the whole world was again in a conflagration, the unimaginable atomic age began. Gandhi wanted freedom, but first he insisted we must free ourselves from the fanaticism of faith, race, caste, creed, class, nationalism, and the crisis confronting us of war and peace, violence and non-violence in our personal lives as well as in our political lives. And our insatiable greed and inane vanities and vexations of the opposite spirit. He said, there is enough for the need of the whole world here, but not enough for the greed of even one of us. He attempted to show through his words and acts that there is another way, more humane and honorable and humanly possible for each one of us. He knew that human beings are both evil and good, but he saw and felt in his life and work that we may be slightly more inclined towards human decency than inhuman bestiality that we hear every day in the television. And on that slight imbalance, we could shape and change the world for the welfare of all. Satindra, he said. He asked his countrymen if they wanted to get rid of the imperial tiger, but inherit the nature of the beast to rule the Indian masses by the new elite in power. How visionary he was can be seen not only in Europe, in the Americas, Africa, but increasingly in India too. He believed that the concept of karma is the true message that all religious speakers, whether from a palace or practice in a humble hut in a hamlet in an obscure village in India. It is, he said, a small karma that makes the difference to all karma. In Swaraj is Gandhi's political track that is central and seminal to an understanding of modern civilization, its discontent and disruptions that we witness daily, if not in our neighborhood, certainly on our many TV channels. Gandhiji was so human, with all his infirmities of the body and afflictions of the soul, not to mention temptations of the flesh. If I were to compare him with others of his century, and there are many, I would put him in the company of a French ascetic, Simone Weil, author of Brevity and Grace, and an American scientist, Rachel Carson, the writer of The Silent Spring published in 1962. But no one understood him better than the greatest exiled scientist, Albert Einstein, who wrote, and you can see that here, generations to come may well be scarce believe that such a man as this one ever in flesh and blood walked upon this earth. These immortal words are inscribed on the plinth that support the statue of the Mahatma. Today, on this spring morning, you stand in its shadow. It is a unique blessing to share this moment, ladies and gentlemen, and give substance to the life and method of the great soul in the lives of this land, sacred and holy, that gives us breath in our daily bread. My dear friends, what else is wisdom? What of man's endeavor? For God's high grace so lovely and so great. To stand from fear set free, to breathe and wait, to hold a hand uplifted overhead, and shall not loveliness be loved forever. And it is this loveliness that we may glimpse in the tiny flowers of our Florida too. Thank you very much.